This time, I don't leap into action immediately. Instead, I stand on the couch and collect my thoughts. Every time I try to save Mayuri, it ends in the worst possible way. Make matters worse, I no longer even know what I'm supposed to be saving her from. Cause and effect. Why does Mayuri die? At first, I thought it was Mocha and her hit squad sent by SERN to steal her time machine. As I leapt back in time again and again, the cause of Mayuri's death kept changing. At Shinochinomizu Station, she died because I pushed her off the platform. So it had nothing to do with that, it was an accident. Each time I leap, she dies a different way. What does that mean? I've been thinking for about an hour, no closer to an answer. I want someone to tell me, but who can I ask? I'm the only person in history to leap through time. No, there's one more, John Titor. But he's not replying to my emails anymore. He hasn't posted on that channel in days. I'm not even convinced he's a real time traveler. Decided not to run this time. Instead, I take a different approach. Strike first. Send Mocha an email. Need to talk to you about a time machine. Meet me alone. Designate the roof of Radicon as our meeting place. 2 weeks have passed since the satellite crashed, but it's still there and the building is still closed. At least the security is lessened, so it's easy for me to sneak in. Not that there's any sneaking to do, I just walk into the front door like I belong there and no one questions me. Last time I came in was for Dr. Nakabachi's presentation. Of course, on this world line, presentation was cancelled. Naturally, there's nobody here but me. Occurs to me that this is a dangerous gambit. Malcolm might have a gun, I already know she's willing to use it. But then, I don't intend to play fair either. We're supposed to meet at 5:30, just after 5. Came early an hour to ambush her. Hide in the shadows, wait for a bit with bated breath. About 30 minutes later, I hear the door open. Mocha makes her entrance, alone. Right, you wear glasses. She looks around restlessly. She still doesn't notice me. Take a gun out of my shirt. Where did you get it? It's not real. Oh, right. It's future gadget number 1, the bit particle gun. Just a toy ray gun with a remote control attached. Obviously a bluff, but all I can prepare on such short notice. Went up behind Mocha and shoved the bit particle gun into her back. Don't move. Hands up. Just like a Hollywood movie. This isn't a movie, this is real. And she is an actress, she's a murderer. After Mocha raises her hands, feel through her clothes. Sure enough, she's carrying a gun. Take her from her and press it to Mocha's back and place the bit particle gun. Sorry to disappoint you. First gun was a toy. Talk. I know you were sent by CERN. How? How? You wanna know how? Frustration and rage boil over. Because of her. Because of her, Mayuri! I came from the future, that's how! You think I'm lying? I've repeated the last several hours a half a dozen times already. I've lost count of how many times exactly. I haven't slept at all that entire time. Strangely, I'm not tired at all. I know what you're planning. Around 7, you're gonna stop the trains. Mocha gasps. So it was their doing. I should know you're planning to attack the lab, you and your men. And then you're gonna kill Mayuri! I understand. I'm a time leaper. Mocha nods faintly. I could kill her now. It would be easy. No, I need information. Who are you people? Rounders. Mocha answers with surprising obedience. Guess she values her own life, even though she has no problem depriving other people's of theirs. Rounders? What does that mean? How are you related to CERN? By email. No! Speak! The Rounders are an organization separate from CERN. Covert operations. We don't exist. Like a private army? No. My mission is to find and acquire IBM 5100s. They send us around the world. We collect them. IBM 5100s. That's right. When I met her, she was looking for an IBM 5100. These days, they're nearly impossible to find. People will pay millions just to own one. Is that because CERN has been hunting them down? How many Rounders are there? Answer me! I don't know. I'm just an agent. So she's not important enough to be told. Was it you who stole our IBM 5100? Mocha doesn't answer. Why does CERN need IBM 5100s? To keep hackers out? Maintaining secrecy is our highest priority. For sir. What are they hiding? We already know they've killed hundreds of test subjects with their time travel experiments. We didn't IBM 100 to find that out. Are you saying that IBM 100 database has information more sensitive than that? I don't know. Cause you're just an agent. My tone is sarcastic, but Moika nods. Ugh. She's useless. Why did you attack the lab? Rather, why will you attack the lab? Isn't it obvious? Because we hacked into CERN? 3 reasons. First, because of what you know. We were ordered to silence you. So CERN did know about our hacking. Second, for the time machine. The one you made. They want our time machine. So must be trying to monopolize time travel technology. Third, the reason it happens today. You plan to make your time machine public. How does she know that? We made the decision right after the time machine was complete. That was only a few hours ago. I thought I was ordered to take you in. Take us in? You killed Mayuri! She's unnecessary. Unnecessary? You nearly pulled the trigger. Okabe, Makase, Hashira, you made the time machine. She is expendable. Those are my orders. And after you take us in? What then? CERN will hold you prisoner. Force you to complete the time travel research. Have you done this before? How many lives have you ruined for CERN's research? I do as I'm told. I was a fool to consider you my friend. I live for CERN. I live for FB. I'll do anything if FB tells me to. FB? Is that the name of her supervisor? Okabe-kun. Is it you? Are you John Titor? What? John Titor? There's no one else it could be. Me? I don't have time for this! Take the gun to Moga's back. If you want to live, you'll call your friends, call FB, cancel the attack! Moga shakes her head. I don't have the authority. I don't care! Find some way to stop the attack! Otherwise, I'll kill you. I can't do it. I'm not a killer. Hands are trembling just like Moika's were before she shot Mayuri. Why? Why did you kill her? She was hesitating. She didn't want to pull the trigger, but she did. You didn't want to kill her, did you? So why? I just obey. Then bring that son of a bitch here! Moika shakes her head again. I don't care about your authority if you don't do what I want. Say! I can't. I've never. Something hard stabs into my back. Shiver runs through my body. Someone behind me. Drop the gun. Man's voice. Is he with Moika? You lied, you Moika! Ready to pull the trigger in cold blood. We promised to be alone! Moika doesn't answer. I said drop the gun. Give you the time machine. Just don't kill anyone. Even if you do that. Even though I'm still pointing the gun at her, Moika steps away and turns to face me. Her eyes are cold. Her expression unreadable. You'll still be held prisoner. Forever. Moika takes the gun away from my hand. I'm unable to resist. Please. I'm sorry about the hacking. Just... please don't kill anyone. Something strikes the back of my head. Legs give out instantly, sending me to the ground. Darkness creeps in. Target B is in custody. Custody pickup. Deep down I knew. I can't save Mayuri. Even if Moko's group doesn't kill her, someone or something else will. The world itself wants her dead. It's the choice of Steins Gate. Steins Gate? There's no such thing. Those words have no meaning. Just some nonsense I made up to sound cool. Steins Gate doesn't exist, but fate does. Fate, God, will, the universe, an absolute force that no one can resist. It exists. And in a sense, it's Mayuri's death. Wake up in the back of a station wagon. Windows are coated with black film, so I can't tell where we are. Feel throbbing pain in the back of my head. Hands are tied behind me. What time is it? How long have I been unconscious? There's a man with me inside the car. I recognize him from a previous time leap. He's the one who stabbed Mayuri in the taxi. The man seems to notice I've woken up. He doesn't speak. He just waves his gun menacingly, as if to say that there's no hope of escape. Dashboard clock reads 7:30. Look out the window again. Through the film, I managed to make out a street sign, close to the lab. Has the attack already happened? Before I left, I told everyone, including Mayuri, to run. If she did as I said, she won't die by their hands. That doesn't mean she's safe. If I don't do something, Mocha's gonna take the time of the machine away. What'll happen then? So I can have the machine if it'll save Mayuri. Problem is that it won't. Not when the world itself is determined to kill her. As long as the time of the machine remains in my hands, I can keep trying to fix things. I'll leap again and again until I find a way to save her. But if I lose the machine, then the future's decided. A future without Mayuri. I have to get it before they do, even if that means I might get shot. As long as I survive and reach the time of the machine, everything will be alright. My bound hands limit me to headbutts and kicks. I somehow managed to knock down the man guarding me and escape. How did you open the door? My chest and neck are covered with blood. Must have been shot during the struggle, but thanks to the adrenaline pumping through my body, I barely feel any pain. I can still move. That's all that matters. Run up the stairs with my hands still tied. I can only pray that I'll be able to operate the time of the machine quickly enough. Mayuri, Kurisu, and Daru in the lab. Sorry, Mocha and her men. When I opened the door and burst in, everyone looks at me with surprise. When she sees my tattered body, Mayuri runs up to me with tears in her eyes. Wait! I try to stop her. In the corner of my eye, I see Mocha take aim at Mayuri. I try to put myself between them. I try to cover Mayuri with my body. But a man grabs me from behind and pulls me back. I watch helpless as Mayuri's tiny body drops to the floor. Her eyes, wide wet with tears, seem to stare into mine. But I can see that they've already lost their light. She's gone. Again. Again. Again! What happens next is the same as before. As soon as I defeat the Rounders, Chris helps me time leap. How far back now? Right, Kurisu said it, so back to the original setting. Flutter sound beats on my eardrums. When it subsides, I find myself again in the lab. Just before 5. With 2.5 hours before Mayuri dies. I find myself staring at the time leap machine. This is the reason for my Mocha's attack. If only we never built the phone wave. If only we'd never sent those D-mails. Perhaps the future might be different. Instead of nightmare promises now. Yeah! But if we didn't build the phone wave, if we hadn't done this, CERN... We've seen what they do! We know what the future holds if CERN is in power! That's the whole reason John Titor's here, remember? Even if you don't believe him. Would anything change if I broke it? Just smashed it to pieces right here? In rush of delirium, I grab a chair and lift it high over my head. Just about to bring crashing down into this inferno machine, a voice cries out. Stop, look at me! What are you doing? Chrissy grabs my arm and pulls me back. Are you trying to break the machine? You don't have to break it, Okabe. We already decided not to experiment, remember? Anyway, put the chair down. I lower the chair slowly. Not because Curry told me to, because I realized what would happen if I really did break the machine. It caused, or will cause, Mayuri's death. At the same time, it's my only chance of averting the future. If I lose it, I'll lose my only hope of saving her. Fear of that outcome stayed in my hand. Stayed in my hand. You look pale. What's wrong? Are you listening? I can't deal with this. Not now. Wait! I flee from the lab. I don't have a particular destination in mind. People look at me strange as I shuffle down the street. I imagine I must look like I crawled up from the grave. Soon I get fed up with the crowd around the station and escape to the pedestrian overpass. Get about halfway across the bridge and squat down on the concrete. The giant screen on the UPEX building is advertising some gothic punk band. Ticker at the bottom displays today's weather forecast along with the date and time. Notice that today is Friday the 13th. Wow! Wow, what luck, buddy! Is there no way to get through today without Mayuri dying? 35:30. 2 hours until the attack. Lights around Akihabara Station turn on one by one as the sun sets. Though we might be gone from Akiba, but the air around the station is still as posh as ever. Don't belong here. Bridge I'm sitting on has become a date spot for couples. See them standing here and there, gazing at the cityscape with their arms wound around each other. Somehow, they never seem to tire of the dull, unchanging scenery. What am I doing here? Mari's about to die. Hey, don't you think you're a little old to be sitting on the ground in public? I lift my head and see Kurisu standing there. Hey, buddy, what's up? So this is where you went. I've been looking for you. Christina. What? What time is it now? 5:38. Hey, if you have time to sit around, maybe you could help me with the shopping? Shopping? Alright. Preparations for the party. In the original timeline, I went shopping with Curry's at the UPX supermarket. And then we talked on this bridge, just like now. It was like so long ago. Back then, I had no idea what was about to happen. Well, you gonna come or not? I sighed deeply. I don't believe that I was wrong to time leap. However... Curious. Keep my eyes lowered. That's the first time you said my name properly. Your eyes on me. Help me. I can't save Mayuri alone. I realize that now. We're living today again and again, only to taste the same despair each time has taught me one important lesson. Alone, I'm powerless. Alone, I have no hope. Help me. Tell me what happened. I know you used the time leap machine. What? I look up in surprise. Kirisa doesn't meet my stare. Instead, she leans on the guardrail and gazes down at the plaza with her usual frown. You get a phone call and suddenly you're like a different person. It was obvious. It came from 3 hours in the future. What happened? They killed Mayuri. I lower my head, trying to hold back the tears. Yeah, I understand, pal. Then I explained about SERN and Moeka. How about Kurisu herself activated the time leap machine and made this possible. Told about my previous leaps. I explained that the world itself wants Mayuri dead, but I can't save it no matter how hard I try. Keep talking for 30 minutes straight. During that time, Kurisu hardly says a word. It's all my fault. Talking to Kurisu lets me sort out everything I've done. Everything I've seen. I shouldn't have told Jaro to hack CERN. I shouldn't have asked you to build a time machine. I should have made Moeka lab them. Mayuri's death is all my fault. That's why I need to bear the burden myself. I was resolved to do whatever it took to save Mayuri, never faltering, never giving up. And yet, my resolve was already crumbled. If you know that Mayuri's gonna die, then what are you doing wasting time here? Chris's tone is haughty. Is this how I sound when I'm playing Hoenn Killma? I just don't get it anymore. What don't you get? How to save Mayuri. Based on what you said, I guess the chronology... Based on what you said, I guess the chronology... Based on what you said, I guess the chronology protection conjecture is true. No matter what I do, Mayuri dies. And that's where you keep time leaping. There's no guarantee that the machine is safe, you know. Kirsha lowers her gaze and cups her chin, as she often does when assessing a problem. Even if the machine works perfectly, repeated use may have serious side effects. For example, you may become disconnected from casualty itself. You need to understand the risk if you're going to continue. Disconnected from casualty meaning? It happens all the time in sci-fi. You become trapped in a closed time loop, never aging, never dying, but doomed to repeat the same day for all eternity. Worst case, you may cease to exist entirely. What? Every trace of your existence will vanish. Nobody will remember you, because your life will never have happened. Leaping through time is that dangerous. Humans are temporal beings. Kurza looks surprised. Hey, Edgar. I was thinking that quote too. I heard it from you first. When? This isn't the first time I've leaped.
Right, of course.
Kurisu squats next to me, thinking deeply.
If what you said is true, then I want to save Mayuri too. But as the co-creator of the time leap machine, I can't recommend its continued use. Will you listen to my advice?
I can't do it alone. I know that now. I need your help. I have to save Mayuri. I can't do it alone, but together we might have a chance somewhat. I need to believe that. Please, lend me your strength. Here's your size.
You're such a stubborn fool. What you've been through, I'm surprised it hasn't broken you already.
Incredibly, she sounds concerned about me. She looks at me for a moment, then turns away as if embarrassed.
I'll help. Anyway, I'm not doing this for you, okay? I'm doing it for Mayuri.
Yeah, of course.
That, and I think you made a good... That, and I think you make a good test subject.
Now you're talking like CERN.
It's completely different.
How so?
I only experiment on you. Besides, mad scientists experiment on themselves all the time, don't they?
I guess. I'm no longer afraid to time leap. I'll do anything to save Mayuri.
It's just a joke, don't take it so seriously.
Kurisu stands up and looks at a watch.
There's not much time. I think you should have a clear plan before trying to change the future again.
Meaning?
Leap to an even earlier time. Then explain the situation to me again.
Kurisu's right. My actions are so far been almost entirely random. And look where that's gotten me. Alright, so yeah, this is... My memory of the anime is as scrambled as Okabe's memory of this day. I need a real plan if I'm gonna save Mayuri.
Let's go.
Kurisu stretches out her hand. Grasp it and pull myself up. Mayuri and Daru are already back when we returned to the lab. Suzu's there too. To give it to them, Kurisu and I explained that we forgot to do the shopping, so could they please take care of it for us? I have to cough up the money to convince them to go, but it works.
I understand why you can't tell Mayuri, but why can't you tell Hashida?
I'll tell them when it's necessary. For now, it's not, and I don't have time to explain. When Kurisu sets up the machine, head downstairs to the Bronte workshop, kick the door open, and turn on the 42-inch CRT. Now more smoothly than I anticipated. Entirely illegal, of course, but I'll leave long before the cops get here. Kurisu looked shocked when I returned to the lab.
Though, throwing the slammer for breaking and entering.
In a few seconds, it won't have happened. Kurisu hands me the headgear and I put it on.
I see. That's how it looks from your perspective. What does it look like from my perspective? What happens after you leap?
You'll know soon enough. I mean, she won't, she'll remember it. My consciousness travels to the past, that I know from experience. What about the body I leave behind? If time is a straight line, it's likely that the present will be reconstructed based on my actions in the past. But if the many-world interpretation holds, then after I leave, this world will continue on as if nothing happened. I used to be so fascinated by the structure of the universe, but now I don't really care. All that matters is saving Mayuri. Kurisu's fingers stopped typing on the keyboard. What's wrong?
It's nothing, I was just thinking.
Maybe it works like a D-mail. Instead, we send an email, the present changes around us. Thanks to being Steiner, only I remember what it was like before the change.
That would make things easier, though I kinda hope you're wrong.
Because you can't collect data if you can't record the change?
Exactly.
Kurisu nods and begins tinkering with settings again.
I set the destination to 5 hours ago. You should arrive around 1:40 p.m.
Wait, did you take 5 hours to go? Hold on. How do I go to the log? Backlog. 5 hours ago. It's only 6? Huh. I thought you were gonna send me back 2 days. Oh.
I completed the time leap machine just after 2. Do you remember?
Barely. For Kurisu, that happened only 5 hours ago. For me, it feels like weeks. Maybe it has been weeks. Okay, so maybe I was right. I'm pretty sure in the anime, he goes back 2 days before the time leap machine is built. He has to tell Kurisu, build the time machine, then we go through the thing, we go through all the actions, Mayuri dies, everything happens again, we just keep going again and again and again. But I guess it's only 1 day.
Nobody likes a man who can't remember dates. Be thankful that I make a habit of checking the time. I have a pretty good idea what happened then. When?
Curious if it's just typing and turns to face me.
Listen, Okabe, you're gonna keep using the time loop machine. There's one thing you must remember. Don't let it go of your phone. Ever. It's your lifeline, your destination marker. As long as you keep it with you, you can leap to any time you want. But if you lose your phone, if someone else gets hold of it,
then if I leap to that time, my memories could overwrite theirs. I don't want to imagine what might happen next.
if it breaks or the battery does,
and I'll be able to leap to that time. If it breaks, then I can't get if it breaks, then I can get a new phone with the same number, but I'll... if it breaks, I can get a new phone with the same number, but there'll be still be a period of times which I can never leap.
Time leap will fail. Once again, never let go of your phone.
Got it.
After you leap back to this afternoon, just sit tight and don't do anything until I complete the time leap machine. Right. That's the plan that you had last time, but I'm pretty sure that was 2 days ago in the anime, not 5 hours, but... If you accidentally prevent me from completing the machine, it'll likely wreak havoc with the timeline. As soon as I finish, declare that we will not experiment, then send everyone home. Ask me to sting, tell me the truth. If you say you came from the future, I'll probably believe you.
How do you know?
Who knows better than myself?
Yeah, I bet. Kurisu grins faintly and stands up after she's done typing.
Don't forget, it was my mad skills that turned the phone wave into a time leap machine. When you told me about your time leap, I took it as proof that my theories were right. I was happy to succeed. It really was. I didn't doubt it was true for a second.
I see.
Just to be safe, I should probably give you a passphrase. What I want the most right now is my own fork.
What?
It doesn't mean anything, okay?
You want your own fork?
I already have my own spoon. Oh, wait, that doesn't matter. Everything's ready now. Get out of here.
I nod and call up the phone wave, name TBA. Alright, Kurisu, I'll see you earlier.
Be careful, and remember, I'm always on your side.
Kurisu touches my shoulder, then steps away. Well, thanks. That's comforting to know. And here we go. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Almost 2. Lie back on the sofa with my phone in my hand. Needles in my brain. Whining in my ears. Sensation is never getting easier to endure. Look at the clock. It's about 1:45. There's a high school baseball game on TV. In about 15 minutes, Kurisu will finish the time loop machine. All it needs is some final adjustments, so there's nothing left for me to do but wait. As the pain in my brain subsides, I realize that my head is throbbing. Why? No, I remember. Right before this, I had an argument with Mr. Braun, in which he introduced his fist to my skull. Mari's had her sewing machine working on her costume. Joe was at his computer, collecting more Moe artwork from the internet. Kurisu's in the development room, upgrading the time loop machine. Sit motionless as the minutes tick by. Suddenly, the sound of the sewing machine stops.
Oh, Okane, can you come here?
Mayuri shows me her costume.
Can you hold this for me? It's better like flop.
Mayuri, say flop again.
Flop.
I got a flop.
Stop it, perv.
Follow Mayuri's directions and spread the costume out by the sleeves.
Okay, thanks.
Mayuri looks a little tired. She's working on this costume all night. But then she smiles, brighter than the sun.
All done!
I said something here, didn't I? What was it? Can't remember.
I finished Wokish-chan. You're racing. You and Mayuri, congratulations. But I'm finished too.
Kurisu finishes connecting the 2 cords she's holding.
Complete.
Alright, that's my cue. We're not experimenting. Crap, was that too soon?
I just finished and you're already shutting it down? What have I been doing these past 3 days?
Time leaping presents a host of problems. I want to consider them all carefully.
Huh? That's an unusually respectable opinion coming from you. Problems? I thought it was done.
I'll explain later. Everyone's tired, so let's go home. We're not gonna have a party to celebrate? We'll do that another day. Managed to convince Darwin and Mayuri to leave. I lend Mayuri my phone charger since we use the same brand of phone. Kurisu tries to go home too, but I quietly keep her back.
What?
Are you upset?
Yeah.
Probably because I shot her down right after she finished the time machine. She'll feel relief later, but only after she has time to fully consider its implications. I came from 5 hours in the future. Kurisu spears me with a piercing glare.
Is that supposed to be funny?
Her narrowed eyes make me believe that looks can kill.
Don't glare like that! This isn't right, you're supposed to believe me! What made you think I'd believe something like that? You told me so! 5 hours from now, okay? Don't be ridiculous. I would never make such a baseless projection.
I'd have a word with future Kurisu. This is how you're gonna be. Leave me no choice but to quote you word for word.
When I told you about my time leap, you said, I took his food, my theory's right. I didn't doubt you for a second. Don't forget, it was my mad skills that turned the phone wave into a time leap machine. I don't talk like that!
What you want most right now is your own fork.
What?
Kurisu's face suddenly turns red. You already have your own spoon, apparently.
She said that? I'm gonna kill myself 5 hours from now.
She appears generally shocked for some reason, but I'm pretty sure she believes me now.
Feels like someone peeked in my heart. And that's someone who's Okabe of all people.
What does she think I'm gonna do?
But I think I believe you. Tell me the details.
Explain everything to Kurisu again. It would organize my thoughts better since it's my second time. This, that, and the other thing.
I see. If what you say is true, then we have a serious problem.
There are 5 hours until Mayuri's death. We need to come up with a plan before then.
Future me said that the chronology projection conjecture holds, but I don't think that's quite right. That conjecture says that according to quantum theory, time travel is impossible due to the danger of disrupting casualty. But when you time leap, there's no chance of a time paradox occurring.
Two of me don't exist at the same time, and I can't bring anything with me to the past. All that changes the memory stored in the temporal lobe. So at the very least, time leaping can't cause a grandfather paradox. So I was right. The universe itself is censoring me, correcting any changes I try to make.
If that's true, then time leaping can't save Mayuri. Nothing you do will change the result.
I can't accept that!
Neither can I. What is trying to kill Mayuri? As a scientist, I refuse to believe such nonsense. What about the many worlds interpretation? I just need to observe the world where Mayuri doesn't die. The many worlds interpretation. That might have something to do with how Mayuri means. The many worlds interpretation. That might have something to do with how Mayuri's means of death keeps changing. But it's supposed to be impossible for parallel worlds to observe each other. Why are you different?
Because my Esper power being Steiner.
This is no time for your Chinabio nonsense.
There's no other explanation.
You've mentioned the reading Steiner thing before. Are you actually serious?
Why would I make something like that up? My DML experiments prove that I can somehow perceive changes in the timeline when they occur. It's an ability only I seem to possess.
I don't know. I don't want to rely on something that may not even exist. Anyway, you can't control which possibilities you observe. Even if many worlds interpretation holds true, it's unreasonable to expect that you'll ever find a world where Mayuri doesn't die.
Wait. We're not getting anywhere. Instead of analyzing what I've done, let's think about what we can do.
Time leaping will change the result. I just said that.
Then what do we do?
Calm down. How can I calm down? Do you know how many times I've seen Mayuri die? Covered in blood, gasping for breath, light fading from her eyes again and again and again. And all I could do was watch.
And my teeth grinding in my skull. Recalling that despair, that feeling of utter powerlessness, makes me want to lash out at everything within reach.
Getting emotional won't solve anything.
You only called because you weren't there.
True. I don't know what happens 5 hours from now. To be honest, it doesn't feel real at all. But it's not like I don't believe you. You have to stay strong, Okabe.
Kurisu pats my arm. Her hand is warm and her touch is gentle. How American of her. Sorry. She's right. Getting emotional won't solve anything. Need to calm down. Calm down. What I don't understand is how the cause could change, but the effect can stay the same. It's like casualty itself is broken.
Maybe Kiryu shooting her isn't the real cause of her death. Maybe something larger and less obvious. For example, maybe she dies because we invented a time machine, or because CERN discovered our hacking. If that's the cause, then it doesn't really matter how she dies. Casualty remains intact.
Can that theory explain why Nye pushed her in front of a train?
Oh. Anyway, the principal casualty is absolute. Deny that and you deny all of physics. There must be a distinct cause for Mayuri's death.
So if we figure out what it is, then maybe we could save her?
Not necessarily.
What do you mean?
The problem is when the casual event occurred. If it happened too far in the past, then there's nothing we can do.
But I could travel at any time if I had a cell phone, can't I?
No! It's still theoretical, but I believe that one leap with our machine has a maximum range of 48 hours.
48 hours? I can only go back 2 days? Why did you tell me that before?
Before what? I just finished the tiny machine, remember?
That's true. Usually you didn't say anything about it either.
Oh, so that should mean maybe she just didn't have the chance.
So how come I can only leap 48 hours?
I don't know. Even I don't understand everything that's going on inside that thing. But you could do consecutive leaps. That is, as long as the time leap machine exists. For example, if the time leap machine remains functional for 10 straight years, you could leap back to this moment 10 years from now. Of course, it still would take a total of 1,825 leaps, so I don't recommend it. Still, it's theoretically possible.
Then what's the problem?
Weren't you listening? I said as long as the time leap machine exists. When was the machine completed? Exactly, an hour ago. August 13th, 2010, 2 p.m. Or thereabouts. It didn't exist before then. It's impossible to use the machine before 2 p.m. today.
So, what you're saying is, count 48 hours back. I can't go back farther than 2 p.m. on the 11th? Cursor nods, her expression grave.
Most likely.
Can't you improve it?
Eventually. Maybe. Certainly not now. I need a real laboratory with real equipment. Expensive, which means we need sponsors. And if we go looking, I'm pretty sure CERN would crush us. I see that's proven by the fact that neither you nor I have left here from the far future yet.
So basically, we can't do anything? Even with the time leap machine, we can't stop CERN from killing Mayuri 5 hours from now? At that moment, I hear sound from outside the window. What? Is it Moika? Did you overhear us? I dash to the window, look out down at the street. It's Suzuha. Her bicycle has fallen over and she's scurrying to pick it up. Our eyes meet. Huh? Why does she look so pale? Her lips move slightly. Looks like she's whispering something, but I can't make it out from here. Hey! Calls to Suzuha, but she leaps on her bikes and zips away. She's acting strange. I smell a conspiracy. Mocha was a spy. Could Suzuha be the same? It's too dangerous to trust anyone. Suzuha has exhibited suspicious behavior, though not as much as Mocha has. She saved us! Like, 16 times now! She's openly hostile towards Kurisu, and she was able to take down CERN's hit squad single-handedly. I wonder if this missing father of hers really exists. Could he be the John Titor who's been posting on the internet? What's the meaning of the name Barrel Titor? Instinct tells me that she knows something. Dash out to the lab.
Hey, where are you going?
Sorry, Kurisu. I know I don't have much of a chance of catching her on foot, but I have to try. There's something going on here. There's a completely new sequence of events. Going to my memories of the future, Suzuha is supposed to remain at the Bronze workshop until 6:30 this evening. But when she overheard me talking to Kurisu, she suddenly took off like a bat out of hell. This has to mean something. Oh no, I know what she's doing. Suzuha's already out of sight, but when she left, she was heading for Chuodori. One of her phone's on. Maybe I should try calling her. But to think of it, this reminds me of something. On the day she failed to meet her father, she disappeared without a word. Just an email saying, bye. Searched the town, but I couldn't find her, so I sent an email to change the past in order to make her stay. Pretty sure I lost her near the station back then. What happened on that timeline? Where did Suzuha go after failing to find her father?
I search up and down Shuadori, but find no trace of Suzu or her bike. I have to be careful. There could already be roundos in here in Akuga. I comb the area of around the station main exit, but there's no sign of her anywhere. Lost sight of her before. I lost sight of her here before, so I thought she might be close by. Maybe I should corner her on my next time leap. Press her for answers before she can escape. Better get back to the lab. Start walking away from the station, but just then, people are on me gasping point. Everyone's looking up at the sky. No, not the sky. Satellite buried in the roof on the Radicon. Why now? It's been there for 2 weeks. It's practically a landmark now. Everyone looks like they're seeing it for the first time. So I turned around and looked up too. What? The lights on the satellite are blinking. Someone inside? Who? Suzuha? Could it be Moika? Satellites remained silent throughout all my previous time leaves. What has changed? Obvious, the fact that Suzuha overheard my conversation with Kurisu. Previously, I'd lost sight of her at the station. In other words, right next to Radicon. Suzuha must be up there! Everyone's staring at the satellite. This is my chance to sneak in without being noticed. Shutters are half open, just as they were when I confronted Moika. Some of my courage and crawl through the crack. When I get inside, the first thing I see is Suzuha's bike lying on the floor. So what is her? What is she trying to do? Where's that satellite? How is it related to John Titor? There's such a thing as satellite? Nobody knows for sure. I checked online, no satellites found on the orbit that day. When they do, whether by accident or by design, they usually burn up in the atmosphere. It's impossible for one to land in such a perfect condition. So what is it then? Jolt suddenly runs through my body. Could it be a time machine? There's only one way to know for sure. I need to get there before Suzuha does something. Elevator and escalator aren't operating, so I'm bound up the stairs 2 at a time. Only these gasping legs burn, but I force my body to carry me to the top. There's the satellite, lodged in Nadicon's roof. And those wires holding it in place. The police must have done that so it wouldn't fall. There's a hatch open on the side of the machine. I see someone moving inside. Suzuha! Person freezes when I shout. Run to the satellite.
Okaberito.
Suzuha turns me with a sad expression. Behind her, I can see the interior of the satellite. It's surprisingly simple, without the switches and buttons you'd expect. Instead, there's a black box the size of a desktop PC. There are numbers on the screens: 2010, 813, and above that, 1975, 813. Suzuha reaches out to press a button.
Ow!
Sparks burst from the panel. She jerks back, her fingertips burnt. What are you doing?
It's not working.
You know how to use that thing? She doesn't reply. I see her shoulders sag.
It's not working.
The sparks had to be from the electrical short. My eyes are burning from the smoke. Answer me, Amane Suzuha! Swallow hard, then ask a question. This is a time machine, isn't it? Are you a time traveler? With her head hung low, Suzuha nods.
I'm John Titor.
Titor. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Still a big crowd outside, so we exit the building on the side facing away from the station. Suzuha has calmed down a bit, so I start pressing her for answers. What do you mean you're John Titor?
Exactly what it sounds like.
I'm the John Titor who's been posting on that channel. I thought he was a guy. Suzuha smiles humorously.
I fooled you. Guess my camouflage worked then.
Who are you hiding from?
SERN.
Those stories you posted, were they?
True, mostly. Few exceptions.
Those exceptions that bother me. So you came from 2036, that satellite, that's your time machine.
I was hoping you wouldn't find out, but my time machine went and broke on me. Really screwed up, huh?
Thought Titor's machine was loaded on a Chevy.
A Chevy? That's a car, right? Where'd you hear that?
The Titor in 2000 said so.
2000? That might be me on a different world line. At least, haven't been to 2000. Came straight from 2036.
There's someone else? It's true that Titor never posted in 2000, not in the current world line. Doesn't matter. I can worry about that later. What do you know? Press Suzuha for answers, trapping her between me and the wall so she can't escape. You ever heard my conversation with Kurisu, right? Why'd you run to the time machine? What were you trying to do?
I thought it was my fault.
What?
Because I neglected my mission, CERN was able to put their plan in motion. Is it true?
Suzuha suddenly grabs my shoulders.
Is it true that CERN killed Sheena Mayuri?
It's true. I time leap from 5 hours in the future.
Time leaped. So you guys completed your machine.
I need answers! What do you mean it's your fault?
Zuzu
bites her lips and looks away.
I'll tell you everything. I think you need to know, you and Makise Kurisu.
Kurisu? Why Kurisu? I guess I'll find out if I let Suzu talk. We should head back to the lab. First, offer Suzu my handkerchief. She looks at me for 1 second, then takes it and ties around her burned hand.